Honestly, I should just be wearing that hat. Yep. Okay. What kind of hat? It's a cone hat, of course. But of course, it's a cone hat. I feel blue. Not in spirit, but just in lighting temperature. How's everybody's weekend? Yes, I realize it's only minutes old for most of you. But maybe you have big plans. My big plans are to drive a truck. There we go, that's better. We need a job. If there's anybody around that wants to truck, you're welcome to truck. But if not, that's fine. I just had popcorn that didn't come from a microwave bag for the first time in a decade. Oh, we went through a phase. Yole got us a popcorn machine that, like, you know, it's the kind that pops up and it goes down the spout into your bowl. We went through a phase of destroying some popcorn. And then we had a bean that is not allowed to have such a thing. She doesn't even know it exists. She literally has no idea that popcorn exists. A wok in coconut oil. Fancy. All right, let's go to the freight market. I don't think there's currently any objectives, so we can just go to St. Louis. No, we're in Maryville. We'll go to Maryville, and we'll get ourselves a nice long load. All the way to Idaho with some scrap metals. Let's do it. That's a doozy. That's a biggin. All right, how loud is game? I haven't determined that yet either. This is new. I guess this game has gotten some updates since the last time I played. The UI is UI is a little cleaner. Oh wait, that's not how that works, Cone. Wheels working. I love that. I don't remember where the gears are. There we go. Seems a little loud, but let me know. Maybe you want that good truck ASMR. Salt, pepper, paprika, popcorn. That's a mouthful right there. All right. Let's drop some gears and then we'll whoop and whoop. I did not get track IR set up because it was effort that I did not feel like doing. A tasty mouthful. All right, let's see. Does that work? Yeah. Nice. All right, which way does it want me to go here? It's kind of got us doing a loop. Just driving in the middle of the road. Okay, it wanted me to go left, but I'm not. All right, do I remember how to shift? Barely, but kinda. How are we on fuel? Pretty good on fuel. We'll skip that for now. I think if we just keep going this way, it'll go back to where we were. Nobody's complaining, but I do feel like I want to try to move the mic closer. But maybe I should just take nobody complaining as a moment of clarity in life. Alright, blinkers? Nope. Blinker.
Yeah, the only
would you look at that?
Blinker.
Just look at that.
Would you look at that? Jingle style.
That's
Can I
all.
submit
That's a
one
horn.
complaint?
Can I submit one complaint? I mean, as the official race steward, I suppose. That's lights. Huh. What would blinker be? Not that. It ain't that. Y for blinker? 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 Really am going in a big circle here, aren't I? That's fine. We're learning. We're relearning. Sir, do you know how to operate this vehicle? Hey, that question didn't come from a hat. God, that shifter noise is going to be right in your ears. You don't know that I don't have a hat here. Fair. Valid point, valid point. So yeah, usually the questions come through chat or through the point system, but this time I asked questions ahead of time because I didn't know when this stream was going to happen, and I wanted to have them just ready to go. This is the next set of gears. Yeah. Poor Betty. Poor Betty. I feel like someday I'm gonna get Betty back, and it's just immediately going into the garage to get the engine pulled. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. What in the Sam Hill is that? Since when can you post giant GIFs in chat? What did I miss? This is news to me for like months now? What? How come nobody does it? German engine pull does not sound like a fun time. I've looked at it. It really doesn't look that bad. Animated emote. Why are they gigantic? Or is it just on my end that they're gigantic? Huh. Well then. The bigger the better, as they say. Depends what you do with it. Alright. Enter. Do I have enter on here? That turns the truck off. Where were we going? We're going to Idaho. Yeah, scrap. Alright. Start the truck back up. Once I get my load, we'll start dipping into the hat. I thought about forcing you to give me money to dip my hand in the hat, but my greed meter was running pretty low today. We can all be Daho. Everybody can be Daho. I'm sure it isn't bad for an electrical sadistic like you. It's yeah, I guess it's really just not that different than anything else I've ever worked on. If anything, it's probably got less garbage going on than like the Supra did. With all its weird vacuum systems. Alright, did we just nail this first try? The answer appears to be no, judging by the fact we're not hitching. I can't get used to reverse being to the left, which is, I guess, gonna be something I have to get used to driving Betty again. We have coupled. Ladies and gentlemen, we have coupled. Long Beach. I don't think I've ever raced at Long Beach. First question. Hi, Lol Banka. What medicine or other unconventional flavor do you wish was an ice cream flavor? Mine would be Pepto. First question that I have for your question. When you say Pepto, do you mean mint or do you mean bubblegum? Because in my head, Pepto was always bubblegum flavored, but anytime I try Pepto now, anytime I have to use Pepto now, it's always mint. And I'm like, in my head it was always like bubblegum flavored. Not this weird, way too sweet mint. But maybe it's just, an adult versus kids version one. Because I could see the bubblegum. I cannot see the mint. No thank you. It's not, like, I love mint chip ice cream. It's probably in my top 3. But, that Pepto mint ain't it. Oop, truck coming. Unconventional ice cream flavor. Let's see. I'm not a big unconventional ice cream kind of guy. I'm a pretty plain ice creamer. Ice creamer. I think the first thing that came to mind, and I don't know if this is unconventional or not, because I really like pistachio ice cream, but one that I never see is walnut flavor, but I guarantee you that exists. I guarantee you it exists, but I never see it anywhere. But it seems like, in the same way pistachio ice cream is good, walnut would probably be pretty good. I'm not huge on almond. Not big on almond, but pistachio or walnut, I think is pretty good. What else? Something medicine related. I mean, the only medicine that I truly would down the whole bottle is the grape Dimetapp. Why are you stopped at a green light? And in a low enough concentration, whoop, that's the wrong gear. I could see it working. I could see that flavor working in ice cream, but I don't know if it would be great. I need to get over, and I do not have the ability to blinker. Well, I guess I don't need to actually get over. I never had Flintstones gummies. We were not a Flintstones gummies family. Honestly, the only vitamin that our family ever obsessed with was, for a while, vitamin C. Because my family really bought into the vitamin C keeps you from getting sick fallacy. So there was always vitamin C in the house, which, I mean, those vitamin C tablets, like the orange flavor ones, were also very good. One that I would like to try, and I only know of this because of Bean's ice cream set, is lemon. I have never had a lemon ice cream. I've had lemon sherbet, but not just a lemon ice cream. I just set cruise to 69, completely accidentally. It's gonna be a good day. I definitely feel like the truck is a little loud. Moon. That was a big moon, you might say. on the more unconventional side, really, I really like the cherry Hall's cough drops. Ooh, I did not expect there to be lights on this road. What gear am I in? Alright. Seems like a good spot to dive my hand into the hat. Weatherman! I don't want to see the local regulations. Not including pizza. What food or meal that you like better as leftovers than cooked fresh? I am a designated leftovers hater. I am not a leftovers guy. I don't even agree that pizza is better as leftovers. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I cannot think of a single case where something is better as leftovers. I really... And I think that's probably a reason why, is that...
What time is it? Time to be a generous and honest person.
I can finally catch a stream. Also, welcome to Kansas. Glad to have you.
I don't like stews or things that are slow cooked, really. Like, I'm not a big fan of the things that have absorbed all of the flavors throughout the everything. You're like real far out there, bud. Thank you, Bigo. So, I don't know if it's been noticeable yet, but I have overhauled the alert system. I have gone through and somewhat minimalized the resub alerts so that they are lower impact. So yeah, I think you're getting a pretty ho-hum one there. One of the only things that I do enjoy on a reheated basis.
_ let Jimmy AO in. Good job. McFisto _ gifted a tier 1 sub to Jimmy AO.
Is like
giving 622 gift subs in the channel.
Fajita fixings. I feel like the fajita stuff reheats pretty well, but then you're gonna use a fresh tortilla. Like, you're not gonna reheat a preheated tortilla. So, don't know if that really counts. He heated gorilla.
McFisto _ gifted a tier 1 sub to Shasto. They have given 623 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you for these 2 gift subs. Stellar. I think I blame my parents for this, because my parents historically have never liked leftovers either, because they grew up always having leftovers, and And through that, they have accidentally made us, me and my brother, also not really like leftovers. Playing the blame game. Oop, this road is twisty. I feel like one of my worst characteristics is my lackadaisical stance on food waste. On a unrelated but related subject, I recently got intertwined into a thread about yes, I am this level of pathetic, a bluey Reddit thread where people were complaining about, were talking about their cringiest episodes, and the one that comes up a lot is one where, hi, I need to get over. I'm just gonna, okay. They're trying to let Bingo make scrambled eggs, or an omelet for Dad, and she's very clumsy at it and not good at it, and she wastes 18 eggs trying to make an omelet, and apparently that just makes people flip out. Like the thought of wasting 18 eggs to make an omelet. And I get it, it's ridiculous, but like, toddlers be ridiculous, yo. Like, toddlers are just ridiculous beings, and they need to do ridiculous things in order to properly learn how to do things. Oh, I loved that. See, I grew up with very sarcastic parents, DJ. So that bit really slapped with me. Like, that is 100% something my parents would have done. Right, exactly. That's where my brain was. It wasn't wasted. They were used as a learning tool. You don't learn how to make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, even if that few is 18. Like, learning to crack eggs in itself is a really hard thing to do. And when you're like 4, it's a darn near impossible thing to do. But yes, I do recognize that my lackadaisical stance on food waste is probably to blame here. And I think you could probably say, like, well, that means that you are probably just lucky enough to never have gone without food-wise. And it is true, my parents always made sure that, like, we had food. But also, like, we didn't exactly live very lavishly either. We had many a sloppy Joe, plain spaghetti, very, very inexpensive meal growing up. It's an interesting perspective as well. Alright. This road looks like it's going to be a little intimidating, but I'm going to try and reach into the hat and get another question. I've done it. Weatherman again! This hat is rigged. I think Weatherman's not even here now. Relatable question. Actually. What is your favorite part of the current phase of Bean's growth and development? that she is taller than a 5-year-old. No, no. It's not that. Let's change things. With my no blinker. I've got to find the blinker button. Cam. Nope. Would you believe Cam is actually Cam? So I think my favorite part about Bean currently is that she's finally expressing joy and thankfulness for things. So as much as I, go on adventures and do things and go to places with her because I want her to have like an enriched toddlerhood, she has finally hit the point where she will like verbalize to me that she enjoyed that activity or that it was fun, or thank you for taking me here, and that it was a very swift but very welcome change. Not to say that I didn't think she enjoyed it before, or like I couldn't recognize that she enjoyed it, but to actually have that like verbalization, that like that accreditation that she actually was thankful and enjoyed the thing that we did that day, even if she had just had a horrific meltdown minutes before about having to leave said place. She'll still be like, that was fun, thank you. Yes, she's recognizing that her words and her actions can create a positive experience for others. She also has learned the opposite. She has learned how to push buttons. But yeah, definitely, that's definitely the biggest thing right now. Other little things, she's starting to recognize the things that we enjoy more. Like she's starting to recognize the things that are like important to us. She has not really recognized how to respect those things, but she's at least picking up on what are the things that, like, that not everything is hers, not everything makes her happy. Some things make us happy, and like those are our special things. Yes, it is very hard to react to some things appropriately because they are extremely good at picking up on the things that will push you over the edge. Yeah, I can't wait for the first... I don't know, she's kind of sarcastic already. She definitely... If you ask her the same kind of question too many times in a row, or if you're like trying to teach her something and she really isn't into it, we're in the hat. She starts to give you the wrong answers on purpose, for sure. Hi, don't mind me, I'm not distracted driving. Justo! How do you like living in North Carolina compared to previous places you have lived? So I have only lived in 3 places in life. First place was in Connecticut, I know nothing about living in Connecticut. I have zero memories of it, really. Okay, not zero, but like, I don't remember what it was like. I don't remember the social dynamic. I don't remember really like what it looked like very much. So it's hard for me to say like, well, I liked living there, or I didn't like living there. I think I would have preferred growing up there, just due to the we'll say political climate and the general stance that people have on the world versus where I did grow up. However, we may have had a much harder life there because the cost of living is super extreme there. So that might have been an even worse thing. So I just don't know. I don't know much about that. I have very little fondness for Florida, and when I return to my hometown, I honestly like it even less because it is constantly changing and evolving in ways that I don't feel are positive. I think it's full. Like, there's one thing that's nice in Florida. It's like the natural landscape and stuff like that is universal. No worries. Rest up. Become arrested. And they're kind of like the rapid development out there. Jeez, easy. Tesla. Ooh. Oh, okay. Listen, Tesla did things. The rapid development out there is just squashing things without any regards for anything other than profits, and it's just really not a pleasant place to be. And now, as a parent, I appreciate it even less because they just don't really seem to They don't seem to care about child infrastructure at all, or creating safe places for kids. If you're not at Disney, then like, why are you even there? And it's hard because I have tons of great memories from there, and there was places I loved to go, places I loved to be. But from grade school aged, I always wanted to move. I always wanted to leave Florida. I hated the weather. I hated the people for the most part. I just never liked it there. I always felt like it was my fault that we were there, and then I didn't even like it. And I think that gave me a sour taste in my mouth as a kid. I was down there for work training. I saw a sign, no homeless shelter. Like, who's against that? Floridians. They're against anything that helps anybody that is not wealthy, higher, middle class and up people. It's Florida's fault for existing. But I don't even really know why, but I'd always, as a child, said that I wanted to move to North Carolina. And I'll be honest, moving to North Carolina really had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with, I wanted to move. I wanted somewhere with a low cost of living. I wanted somewhere where I could have some land. And I wanted to be close enough to day trip back to my parents. And this house was on a 1,000-mile radius search, and it happened to come up here, and choosing it was purely based on, yeah, that might be nice. And I came and looked at it, and I was like, yeah, it kind of fits the bill. I knew nothing of the town. I knew nothing of the infrastructure, really. It was a shot in the dark. As a whole, North Carolina is a lot better than Florida. There's so much more natural diversity. There's so much more human diversity. There's a lot more attractions that are relevant to me. I appreciate being in an area that's a little underdeveloped, not rapidly growing. I think if I were to choose again, if I was to have free reign, open choice, I think I would have gone further north, further west. I think there are areas of North Carolina that would have suited our family better. But as a whole, I really like North Carolina. It's not perfect. The people are not perfect. the weather is not perfect. But I just don't think that perfect exists. There's so much here that on a daily basis makes me happy in a way that Florida never did. And I try, it's hard, but I try not to mix into that, you know, the circumstances of our family. Because I didn't know that then. Like that wasn't really part of my philosophy. That wasn't really part of what I was thinking about. Wipers. Nope, that's the parking brake. Box. Lights. Okay, that's high beams. Button 19. Whip. Wipers. Yeah. It's ruined. Of the areas I've visited, Asheville is nice, but I don't think I'd want to live there. I don't think Asheville is high up on my list. I like the Asheboro, Greensboro area. And then, like, north of that, the more like the Winston-Salem kind of areas. Not huge on Charlotte, but like west of Charlotte. The areas west of Charlotte, more towards the mountains, are nice. Definitely not further east. The further east you go in North Carolina, the more Florida it gets. Good lives in an area that is under rapid expansion. Good lives in an area that is very Florida-like in that way, where it is expanding as fast as it can expand. Like, the whole metro area there is just, how many houses can we build? That's the whole, that's everything there. So it's different, which is interesting because he does live in what was previously farmland. like literal farmland. But it finds you. You know, expansion of people need houses, people need places to live, so progress will find you. Progress ain't finding this place for a long time. I mean, it's progress, yeah. Like, there's areas up there that are just
Nice, Tony.
really nice. Tech, thank you for 93 months.
Thank you, _1, and I would truck 93 months, and I would truck 93 months more.
93 months more. Keep on trucking. Alright. It's kind of dipping the hat. Yeah, every time I pass one of these old farms and there's a sign out front that says, you know, houses from the low 500s, I'm just like, I'm not sure, not sure we're headed in a positive direction. Seb, if you were forced by circumstance to go back to a normal job, what would you like it to be? That was the year it was built. From the 500s. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think if we're going to limit it to, like, you know, just normal jobs you could apply to, I would say something like a Parks and Recs kind of situation, or, you know, that kind of like maintenance. Veteran?
Good job.
Yep.
McFiscal _ gifted Zelliversal subscription. McFiscal _ gifted a tier 1 sub to Zelliversal. They have given 624 gift subs in the channel.
Let's slow down on this rain. Like, obviously I spend a lot of time at parks and trails, nature trails and stuff like that. I think I would really enjoy being the person that does, like, the maintenance on those places, because I see so much that it's like, you know, with the littlest bit of effort, I could make this so much better. And I think I would enjoy the challenge of that. I think I would enjoy that as a job, even if it is, like, not very lucrative, not very special. It's not something grand. It feels like something that would be rewarding enough to me to enjoy it. I have definitely considered teaching multiple times, but it's hard because I think the time in which I would want to be a teacher is 20 years ago. And it would take me, you know, 5-10 years to even get to that point. And I don't think it's going in a positive direction. It feels like signing myself up for a sinking ship now, sadly. Hopefully that improves someday, and it's something that, like, maybe in my, like, I've known a lot of people that didn't start teaching until they were, you know, in their 50s. So, like, maybe at some point. What a random train. Thank you, train, for training. Hey, fake train. It's already halfway through level 1. I still feel like truck is too loud. think that's pretty much my answer there. Whoop. Don't arrest me. Start your own school. Not a driving school, apparently.
Tuckaliv said pumpkin. Choo
Choo-choo.
choo.
Weenus Swindlehurst. Jingle? If you had to buy an electric car,
Switch 204.
which
cheer.
would you choose?
249.
Both
Toss a
reasonable
bit to your
price
screamer.
and if money was no object. Oh, it's not you? I don't know who it is.
McFister
I guess I'm gonna go with visuals
visuals.
because that's kind of the only thing that really matters with an electric car. I like the Polestars. The Polestars look nice. I do like the Hyundais.
Jimmy Eo cheer. 100.
I don't think I would ever own another Hyundai Kia product.
Thanks for checking in.
Like trains. Like Shaggy.
Oh hi Shaggy _ thanks for checking in for
Oh, we are
106
big
months.
speeding.
I like trains.
We are big speeding. I wonder if I'm catching everybody. In a construction zone, no less. If money was no object, I don't know, they're all too expensive, so. As a Kona EV owner, I have informed opinions about EVs. I like big trains and I cannot fly.
Jingles talk cheer. 100. I like big trains. Maxa.
We're going this way. Nobody on this road. Nobody going this way. I don't know the answer to the if money is no object question. I really don't. Because I don't have a dream electric car. I don't think it exists yet. Like if Lotus managed to make an electric sports car that was like lightness forward, simplicity forward, not super crazy powerful, something like a modern Tesla Roadster, then maybe I could be interested. But nobody is making that car right now. Nope, nobody seems interested in that. If somebody's making an electric car currently, they're either making like the most econobox possible, or they are making super ultra luxury craziness. And neither of those really interest me in an EV. I can't figure out if Bean is mad or just playing.
64 of their bits.
Not even performance over utility, just like simplicity. She mad. Okay, it's mad. Madness is happening. Fun, yeah, fun, simple, use the best parts of, you know, the battery and motor technology. I'd say this is probably the lower end. This is maybe the least favorite parts of Bean's current development stage. Oh no, our fake train didn't train. Another bypass. What she wants? Does she want it here or something? Stellar! Maybe she can hear me and she's mad about it. were you able to keep the Derby starting gate intact for next year? It seemed to work well. Alright, here's what you need to know about the Derby track. It's still there. Not a single piece of it has been disassembled. It's actually holding up better than I expected, believe it or not. But it is getting torn down. The total cost of the track came in at about $95, which I think is stellar. I think that's really good. I think we got a lot of value out of that $95, considering the price of everything currently. It did work very well. The start gate worked pretty well. I don't think I will keep any part of it though, for 3 reasons. Number one, the materials are not going to age very well. They're not long-term materials. 2, I think I can do better. I think again, I have learned a lot about building it, and I could do even better on a 3rd try. Uh-oh. We gotta get over quick. Made it. And the 3rd reason is, I really enjoy the process of building the track. I feel like building the track is a big part of the enjoyment of the Derby for me. And it evolving and becoming different every iteration is a big part of the fun. So, to answer the question, probably not going to keep the start gate or any part of it, but I will keep the knowledge of what I did and how it was made for the betterment of future derbies. Stellar question. Oh, it's a big one. Oh, this has to be Powers. Existential 2440. Who could it be? Jeez. Attack the Juranthus. Alright, let me get through this cloverleaf. Oh my god, what happened? What did we... What in the world just transpired out there? Poops. Poops. Is she like, high producing right now or something? Get back to speed. I was half asleep writing this. Will it make more sense than Quays? We'll see. What does Current Cone think about his changes in life since attic dwelling? In regards on how everything has changed, yet at the same time it feels like nothing has changed. I say this as I contemplate the fact so much has changed, yet ultimately I feel like nothing has progressed, and ultimately I'm unhappy where I am. Boy, that's an onion with some layers. that's got That's got layers we could go through. I mean, you picked an interesting point of time there, because as bizarre as this sounds, attic dwelling era for content creation was the most exciting era for the next 2 years for me, ever. Like, from the point I quit my job, fast forward to the point that I moved to North Carolina, was just absolutely thrilling. Automation was doing amazing. I was becoming very good friends with the people that worked there. I was starting to become involved with Mindcrack. I was doing exciting projects on my own that were automotive, they were construction. That was, you know, the era in which I was building the ramp truck. The 240 was really coming together, the Supra project. There was so much going on in that era that it always felt like, I guess in my head, I always felt like the Dominion War, I always felt like there was so much going on that if I just kept doing things, and I kept doing things that I loved doing, something was going to catch. Like, something was going to be the thing that rocketed us up instead of the slow, gradual climb. And of all of those things, not a single one of them ever ended up being the thing that caused the rocket climb. And in the years after that, like, once things started to slow down and the amount of stuff I was doing started to slow down, it was something that I really, really struggled with. I really struggled with no longer feeling like I was even producing enough stuff to have the chance for something to eventually be the thing that took off. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. And that bummed me out pretty bad. But enough time has passed now that I'm just, like, endlessly appreciative of the fact that all of the things I've ever done have, instead of being a ramp to you know, launch me, they just lifted me out of a point that was really, really low. Like, yep. Like, despite the fact that I was doing incredible things for me, I was doing stuff that was a dream. Being part of Minecraft, going to the marathons, raising tons of money for charity, building cars, building projects and things that were so far out of the realm of my norm and what I thought I was capable of doing. The person underneath of that was desperately very unhappy. Like, I was a pretty miserable person then. And the fact that the little moves here and there over the years have given me enough of a ramp to bring me up to a point where that ain't me anymore. I think no matter how things go content-wise, no matter if things slow down, whether things never, pick up, never go crazy, what making content did for me, I will forever be indebted to. And I will appreciate doing it for as long as I can do it. Versus, I understand your perspective, because your perspective is different. I don't get the impression that making content is like personally as rewarding. And I think the reason that I can pinpoint in my head is that you are very successful in other ways. like being a sub-famous, sub-successful YouTuber was the pinnacle of my life. Like getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube was like the greatest accomplishment I ever had in life. At the time. And for somebody that I think is extremely successful in life, that bar is so much higher for you, and reaching a point at which you think it has become a success for you is something that is insurmountably hard to reach. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking 10 years ago with that stuff. Like, if I launched the second channel last year, and I hit, 2,000 subs on it within a year. If I had done that 10 years ago, I literally would have been dancing in the streets. Myself, Jake, and Slag used to go bowling as a celebration for every time I would get, another, I would hit 1,000 and then 1,500 and 2,000. It used to be that big of a deal to me. I guess the part for you that I wonder is creating content, is chronicling the cool things that you do and sharing it with your friends for your friends to see enough motivation for you to keep doing it. Because if it's not, then there's the possibility that it's not worth your time to do. I mean, I think it is, because I enjoy living vicariously through you, but yeah. Slow muscle cars. Who the fuck is the you? Powers is the you. I guess my struggles are more with the life side. The content creation I enjoy. Yeah, I mean, this is probably not the place for me to dive into the psychology of what I think about Powers as his life choices. But on the TLDR, and as gentle and simplistic way I can word it, you seem like an extremely talented person with lots of success that is held back by yourself and outside personal family relationships. You're running a restrictor plate on the highway. How'd that work? How is the phrasing? And now into the Code of Shame for a new question that totally won't be existential. Everyone understands a nasty car reference. Oh, I got two. That must be a short one. Tunnel! Horn? Oh, there we go. Dravir! Is life over when you reach 40? Did you put oil in it? So about those existential questions. No. Life is not over when you reach 40. I mean, if it's got oil in it, just freaking do it. Oh, truck, why are you brake checking me? Why do you do this? Why? I think 30-year-old me was like, would have said, oh, 40. Gosh, if you haven't done anything by 40, you're in trouble, Mr. Coney Dodger. But 39.5-year-old me is like, 40 has just as much potential as 30 and 20 had. And I felt like at 30 I thought more about how cruel it is that life is so short. And at 40, it's like, you know what? There's time. There's plenty of time. And worrying about the time, all that worrying about the time does is keep you from enjoying the time that you have. So, yeah, I just try to enjoy the time I have more these days, and I feel like I do. And that's my 40s philosophy. And yeah, I try to be better about not like freaking out about ticking all the boxes. Yes, I feel like in my 30s and maybe up to like mid-30s, I was a pretty morbid person. I was also kind of not feeling very well. I think my whatever thyroid issue I was having was increasing things. It was making me very anxious and doing things to me that I didn't fully understand, and it made me an even like darker person. But overall, not so bad now. Alright, here's this little question. DJ Sylveon, for the Derby, what are the cars you wanted to do good, but didn't? There was this one by DJ Sylveon. I felt bad. I felt bad that that one didn't. I think it was mostly the track. I think the track design did not suit that car well. If the walls were taller and the slope was more gradual, that car would have done very well. But the meandering hills and the short walls didn't do that car a lot of justice. I wanted Camino's car to do very well, and I was like, eh. If it sounds like murder, it's just poop. Stellars, I felt bad on the day about Squeaks, because Squeaks was a really complicated contraption, and I really wanted it to work because it was nifty, it was neat. But after the fact, I felt more worse about Stellars, because Stellars was really good. Stellars should have absolutely been a rocket. It should have won the day, but it was just a kind of a failure of the battery casing that caused it to come apart. I got one more run than I had hoped for. I think that was all for that one. I think pretty much everybody did as well as I could have hoped. Yep. Stellar! Do you anticipate any changes in the derby track configuration? Longer, less steep, more jumps? Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of talked about that earlier. Like, I hope for the track and everything about that event to just keep evolving. I think... Well, F me, I guess. Ouch. And then get hit by a Jeep. I agree. How many iterations still is a proper loop? Whoop. Vehicle inspection. If they say my truck is damaged, I'm gonna be pissed. Could you? Thank you. Oh, hey, it's that truck. I would say the things I really liked. I really liked how steep it was. I thought the steepness was about perfect. Very pleased with that. It's not perfect. Thank you. The smoothness of the track I would like to improve a little bit, and I think I know how to do it better. And for the sake of it being content, I think the track should be at minimum 60 feet long. This one was like 30 something, so I would say probably nearly double our current length. I think it gives more time for the races to play out, and it makes the run feel, I don't know, more substantial. So longer for sure. And also, I'm a fan of the course being not perfect in the way that Pinewood Derby tracks are perfect. So I like the multiple, you know, like humps. I like the fact that there's a spot where the cars could technically jump or leave the ground. I think all of that is good, but I would like to push that even further in the future and potentially have a setup where there's a normal derby and then there's a suspension test derby where there's like an actual intentional jump in the course, and you have to try to make a car that survives the jump. So like a section that could be switched out and an intentional jump added in. Them's the dreams. Oh, that gear doesn't exist. I thought there was a way I could get into 17th gear. Must not be configured. Don't forget that graphite. Graphite is key. I was very surprised by how well the graphite actually worked. It was noticeable. I don't like the randomness idea, but I do like the idea of there being a section that's like soapy or like sandpapery or something. You know, different sections of course would be cool. Interestingly though, Potomsium, all of the ZK entries had graphite and it didn't do nothing for them. Florida drivers. Crossover section. Pretty far. We're in Idaho here. Oh, it's another long one. Oh, and this car is gonna cut me off. Gem Knight Shyamalan. Considering this month is the 10-year anniversary of the Conelanders Assetto Corsa League. Blech. Looking back, what do you think, or what do you wish you could go back and change about it while still running it? Start with that. Oh, wait. A personal thank you from me for running it and getting me back into sim racing, and how that small league led to making so many friends who share this niche of a hobby. You're welcome, Jem, and I'm sorry, Jem. I think the only thing I would have changed is I would have believed in myself a little bit more. I would have I wish I had stuck to it a little bit more and stuck to my guns a little bit more about what I thought it should be, instead of letting a bunch of people that really didn't care about me, the content I was creating, or what we were trying to do, dictate what we should do with it. I think if I had trusted my instincts more, it could have ended up as a much bigger and long-term thing than it ended up being. I still consider myself to be like one of the absolute forefront sim racing creators. Like, the amount of people creating sim racing Let's Play content in that era is so small. And within like 5 years of that whole genre exploded into something that ended up being like on national television. So yeah, I really think the only thing I would change is that I wouldn't have let people talk me out of wanting to do it. That's a bit of a shame. I guess you're gonna keep going. I got a break. Got a break. I love Idaho. I potato Idaho. I is Texan. How are you fooling today? I hope we'll. Thank you for your continent. It always brings me joy. I did ask for questions, and I'm pretty sure this is a question. I are feeling pretty good today, honestly. Not bad. It's been rough going sleep-wise lately. But we've had a couple more decent days recently. Physically, I feel pretty darn good. I feel like getting the GERD under control, and I feel like despite the fact that I feel like I have more stress in my life than ever, my ability to handle the stress and not let it eat me alive is better. And in that, I am healthier. So, I are pretty good. And you're welcome for the continent. Turn. Oh, we're really getting down there. Is this it? No, there's some at the bottom. Baka again. If you had your one-man ran restaurant, let me say that 3 times fast. One-man ran restaurant, one-man ran restaurant, one-man ran restaurant. What top 3 things would be on your menu? So if I had to run a restaurant, my top 3 things would be Texas-style French toast, which if you don't know what Texas-style French toast is, neither does anybody else, but it's Texas toast French toast. It is not like the waffle. It's not Texas shaped. It's just very thick white bread. Number 2 is going to be very random things. Number 2. Sorry, I just read something that's mind-blowing. I remember talking to my Australian friend a while back who said, "Oh, Cone Dodger, I know him from Conelanders." Yeah, that's the part, that's one of those things that, like, has left a small hole in my soul, is that Conelanders should have been something that really became something. All right, number 2 is going to be chicken parmesan. Only because I enjoy making chicken parmesan. That's literally the only reason. And I gotta run this place, so I might as well make something I enjoy making. And number 3. Trying to think of something else I really enjoy making. Hold on. You gotta round this out too. I feel like it's I feel like we need some kind of like lunch thing in there now. Smoked turkey sandwiches. There you go. That's the Cone restaurant. Enjoy. That's not good. With arugula. Are you gonna move ever, or are we just stuck here? Who put that truck there? Boy, that did some damage. Hey, he moved. Hey, is there a shop over here? Stellar! What was your favorite Derby car from this year, and why was it the Scorpion? Scorpion legitimately was very good. Like, honestly, opening that box and seeing the Scorpion, even if the tail was broken off, was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Because it was one of the first ones I opened. And seeing that was like, oh man, if this is what I can expect, then this is gonna be good. I think we all know. Yeah, there's a Joker player. I need to go left. Got it. I think we all know the mandolin was like legitimately mind-blowing. Like literally I could not even to that. I was shocked. I was also extremely impressed by Powers' Delta Wing, but unfortunately for Powers, this is kind of like the standard I expect from him. So I was maybe not as surprised by that one as the others. And if that's what people were doing on a very short timetable, if I give people months of warning, there's going to be some really good stuff. I'm hoping annually is not too much. That is one thing I worry about, but we'll figure that out. Oh, we don't have that gear anymore. Rolling stop. Right next to a cop. Oh, I don't have that gear either. Somehow I think that did not damage our scrap metal. It's like it's scrap metal or something. I mean, honestly, for like the regular Pinewood Derby cars, people could legitimately be making them right now. It is not impossible. Like scrap metal. Yeah, I wish Kurt and the girlfriend could have made one, but maybe next time. Stellar! Can you ask Beef what he did with all of his cars before moving to Portugal? I will ask the next time we're in a conversation. I think I know the answer. But I'm not entirely sure, so I won't speak for him. Where is this place? I was very pleased with the Data ABBA. I thought that was one of those rare cases where I had an idea, I committed to it and executed it, and I just couldn't be happier. It's just overall something that I was super happy it actually happened.
Day 69, nice. In the ghost house?
Superbub1E put $69.69 into the Cones Garage Fund to have the cool S car shipped.
Oh, you want your cool S? You're the first person though to want one of the ones I made. All right, nice. I will get your deets and I will ship you your cool too. Dravere, are there still some childhood fantasies you don't want to let go? Hi, it's me, Guy, still trying to play video games for a living here. Why have I lost second gear? Oh, all the gear. I thought my truck was broken, but my shifter got out of calibration. It wasn't the truck. How am I gonna fix that? I guess I gotta back out of the game. Can I even do that? Is there gonna be incriminating information? No. Calibrate. There we go. Should be fixed. But for real, like this kind of stuff really was a childhood, even though Let's Playing was not a thing for a long time. I would play games like 18 Wheels of Steel and I would be playing it not for the sake of, you know, completing the missions in the game. I would play it to like further the story that I had in my head. Like that's generally how I always played games. So doing this is really just an extension of that. Not even vibe gaming, but like imaginative story gaming, I think is the key, is the quay. I have a couple of those, but I could always have more. Like, I definitely gave up on the childhood dream and obsession of becoming a race car driver, because that ship is like so far out to sea, nobody's gonna find it. Why is there a helicopter looking for me? I guess here's the thing. Cletus did it because he still wanted to do it. I don't think I still want to. I think I care more about, like, I would care more about creating stuff that I'm proud of than dedicating my time to trying to become a race car driver. Yeah, Cletus is also deceptively young, true. Yeah. Right. But I mean, that, when you say that, your qualification is like a professional Formula One driver, NASCAR driver. To me, all I wanted to be was like a Spec Miata driver. Like I didn't really have the dreams of like, I'm gonna be an F1 driver. In fact, my childhood dream and obsession was to become a Trans Am series driver. That was the series I loved the most as a kid, and that is like really not that far up the ladder. It's really not. So, if I did have money, and if I did have the ambition, that's still something I could do with my life. But I don't think the desire is there anymore. I don't even want to do professional autocross. Like, going to pro nats or anything like that in autocross, even though I live somewhere now where the hub of that is, I have very little interest in that. For me, like, winning at autocross is being the person that is having the most fun while they're there. What do you think about the Jimmy Broadbent success? I mean, that's the kind of story that you use to motivate yourself, right? Like, that's the kind of story of like, yeah, you can self-build yourself into that kind of situation. You're gonna have to make huge personal sacrifices to do it, but you can do it. But on the flip side, you could make huge personal sacrifices to try to do it and still not achieve it. So it's like, it's inspiring that it can happen, but it's also a trap in that you could have the same exact trajectory and route and effort that he did, and it never actually comes out to work. Especially if you end up just not having the talent. Like, if you're just not very skilled at it. And judging by my sim racing career, I assume that's probably me. I assume I am actually just not really that skilled at it too. Rude? What a rude light. That does apply to YouTube style content creation too as well. Yeah. Like, yes, I think I have done a lot of the right things and I've made a lot of the right sacrifices and I've put in the right effort towards making content. That does not guarantee you success. And there's no guarantee that you have the talent, you have what it takes to become, you know, ultra popular. And I'm okay with that. Back to the Derby. It's just like, what? We just had a green arrow. Did I miss it? Yay! Stellar, back to the Derby. Which car was the most surprising, either in how well it worked or didn't work? Hands down, the most surprising car in how it worked or didn't work was ZK's. I really, honestly expected ZK's to damn near dominate. When I saw that thing, I was like, people are potentially going to be upset by the fact that this car is so heavily modified from the Derby car. And it did okay, but never did it strike me as something that could potentially win, and that was surprising. The one I really wanted to do better, oh, I must have my things on. I really wanted the Sour Patch Kids car to do better, but that's solely because of like the personal connection there. Myself and Skelly, I would say bonded quite a bit whilst they were here for Wally standalone and then the AC install. So I really, like, personally, I just really wanted hers to do well because she's old enough to understand winning or losing, and I thought it would be cool. But I was glad that it did very well. It did very well, and got to compete against a bunch of different cars, including both of her parents, and that's fun. Oh, I'm in 14th gear. But I really wanted to see it just, like, win overall. Is this legal? I think that's a different route I could have taken in life. Because I was working, like, I got my toes dipped into working as a at-the-track mechanic on the Spec Miatas, and then with KSR on the jump car stuff. And everybody that I worked for or with really appreciated my help there. I do think I wish I had considered pursuing that more. But it would have taken more social skills from me. I think if I had an ounce of the social skills I have now, then I would have been much more forward with, like, Kevin and David and Randy, the people that were, you know, higher ups in those teams that needed helpers. They needed help, and I think enjoyed my presence and my abilities, but I didn't personally pursue it enough. But who knows, that could have led to a completely different lifestyle of, like, being on the road all the time and stuff like that. Panda, what's your favorite phrase of Quailish? See, I don't know that I can just pinpoint a favorite phrase, but my favorite individual Quailish is any time that Quay is legitimately, like, excited about something and types in a way or phrases something in a way that you can tell there's excitement, you can tell he's excited, but legitimately cannot for the life of you figure out what was just typed. Those are my favorites. Can somebody give me an uptime? Is that doable? Okay, thank you. We still got quite a few in here. Stellar, what is your favorite playground attraction? Of all of the, like, instruments at the playground, the modern merry-go-round is definitely top tier. The non-metal and seats that hold you merry-go-round is very good. However, when we were in Asheville, I found a playground built into a hill with the poured rubber floor, which is like a squishy floor, that they poured it down the hill and built slides into the hill. Overall, that was like the coolest playground ever. Having a hill made out of just this like rubber mat material was very fun. What's the fastest you've got the merry-go-round to go? I very often end up being the lead merry-go-rounder at the park. So like, me and the Bean will be playing it, and then all the other kids will want to jump in, and I often find myself being like the person in charge of gating the speed to accommodate 3-year-old and then, you know, the rogue 8-year-old that wants to go 1 billion miles an hour. What I'm saying is I try not to let it go too fast. Oh, the nostalgic hit. Me and the Bean's, like, probably most visited park has one of the swings that has a parent seat on one side and then the, like, toddler baby style, you know, what would you call it? The one with, like, the legs go through on the other side so you can both swing together. I am already sad that she is outgrowing those, and it's just happening. I guarantee you in 10 years or 5 years, I'm going to be, like, misty-eyed every time I see those, because those are super fun. Flamers, what's your favorite shape? I guess triangle? I would say as a kid, and probably every kid, the day I learned how to draw the 3D cube, I drew so many 3D cubes and like 3D other shapes. That was just one of those things where it was like, I'm mature. I can draw 3D shapes. I'm gonna do it all the time. I think those two answers are the best answers I can give you. Always stop, huh? Flamers! Plane, train, or boat? If I'm traveling long distance, plane. If I'm traveling middle distance, train. If I'm traveling short distance, boat. Boat to the store. I mean, drive. The car wasn't on the option list. Flavors. Cat or biscuit? Cat or biscuit? Cat or biscuit? I mean, how do you have biscuits without cat? I guess biscuit.